Hey everybody, it is Tuesday. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we are going to be cooking with watermelon. It is a gray and rainy day out there by me, but I'm hoping that you all have a nice day ahead of you. Very nice to have something nice, cool, and refreshing as a side dish for your meal. So today we're going to be making watermelon salad with feta. And I couldn't decide, add onion, not add onion. I've done it both ways, and I thought, you know what, why not do both? So today I'm going to make one with similar ingredients. The basic ingredients will be a watermelon. We have some fresh mint here. I just picked it out of my garden. We're going to have some cheese. I did not have feta. Typically you do use feta. I have some goat cheese here, so I'm going to be using goat cheese, but by all means, if you have feta, use feta. I just had the crumbled cheese here, but what's really nice is if you get a chunk of feta and you use a fork to break it up so that you have bigger chunks in it. But this is going to work just fine, and since I really am flexible with my recipes and I really do look to use what's in my refrigerator, this is what I had in my refrigerator. So that's what we're going to work with today. So the other thing too that they both have is some sort of acid. One has lime and one we're going to use a red wine vinegar. Okay, so first things first, watermelon, very important. So how to shop for a watermelon. Very good. So when you're shopping for a watermelon, you want to lift it up and feel that it's heavy. I weighed this one. It's about 14 pounds. Yeah, a little bit of weight there. It's nice and round. I like to see that. The other thing too is you want to look and make sure that there will always be a spot that is lighter in color. That spot was the one that was sitting on the ground. You want to make sure that this spot has a nice yellow color to it, which means that it ripened on the vine. The other thing too, just make sure your vine is dry. It means that it was ready to come off. And the other thing too, when you knock on it, you kind of feel the resistance of the water. It's kind of shaking. So it's really watery. It'll also sound hollow if it is nice and ripe. So first things first, how do you cut your watermelon? I'm going to take my knife and I'm just going to go straight down through. And it's never a delicate process, so bear with me for a moment. Be careful with your knives. But I like to just try and get half of it done and then kind of rotate the melon as I'm cutting. Here we go. All right, so this is a seedless melon, although I do see some small white seeds in it, but that's okay, we can eat those. I was reading where they were saying that the seedless melons actually don't have as much flavor as the seeded watermelons, but I don't think you can get seeded watermelons all that much these days. So I didn't quite do this in half, did I? I'm trying to decide which side I would like to use. I'm going to use the smaller side for now. So let me just give this a cut in half again. So basically quartering the original melon. And then I'm going to have that again. Why do I do it this way? Because I really want that triangle to help me slice the melon. And then I'm just going to slice it into those very familiar watermelon slices. Let me go grab a bowl to put this in. What I'll do is I'll put all of my melon cubes into this one bowl to start. Now I'm slicing up the rest of that section. right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take 2 or 3 slices in one direction. You can see that. And then I'm going to turn it and do, oops, I should have done it. Oh, there we go. Sometimes I even forget what I'm doing. Let me just cut that one cube in half. So let me just do this down on the countertop so it's a little bit safer. So I'm not cutting into myself as much. And I will be cutting back over. There we go. Take those last pieces out. And I'm going to do this until the entire melon is cut up. Or just this half melon. Because now, when I get to the end, what I like to do is I will typically just cut in from the corner. There will be 3 corners into the section, which will then liberate this piece from the top, and I will just cube that as well and throw that in with the rest of my watermelon cubes. All right, so bear with me here for a minute. We'll get this all chopped up. And I'm doing these into 1/2 to 1 inch cubes. You can make them smaller if you'd like. You like a little bit more of a dainty salad. Here I did these in more like 1/2 inch cubes. Just to show you size-wise the difference. All right, and let me then cut down this last triangle. All right. I think I do like those smaller cubes, so I'm going to keep them little. All right, so we have that 1/4 done. Let's get this other section done, and we will be ready to move on to our recipe contest. Let's call it that way. To see, I wish you guys could taste it with me, and then we could come to a consensus which we like better. So this concept of having melon with feta, where did that come from, right? It seems that the saltiness of the feta goes very nicely with the extreme sweetness of the melon, and they blend nicely together. And that actually makes some sense. I don't know if you've had been to a place, mostly in Europe I noticed this, where they will put salt on their cantaloupe. And it brings out somehow the flavors of the cantaloupe. And I guess that makes sense. Salt, that's the purpose of salt, is to bring out the flavors of food. We don't normally think of salty with sweet. But it pairs very nicely. I remember one time when I was in Europe, and I was with my host family, and we were having breakfast, and they had a typical continental breakfast, and we were having pretzels, and they had breads and cheeses and everything with it, but they also had honey. And at one point I put honey on my pretzel, and you should have seen the look on the family's face, because they had never thought of putting salty with sweet. Turned out they all tried it and they liked it. All right, and we are done here now with slicing up our melon. Very quick, very easy. We've got a nice sizable amount of melon here. That's why I figured just 1/4 of the watermelon here would be enough for our taste-off, our recipe contest, all right? All right, just clean up my countertop a little bit here. All right, let's go first to doing let's do it without the onion, all right? So I'm going to add in about 1/2 of my melon cubes. And this makes a very generous salad if I were to use that whole melon or that first piece of melon the way I done all of this as one. So breaking it down into two actually is not a bad idea. Depending on how many people there are, this could be for anywhere from 2 to 4 people. So I have my melon. What I'd like to do is, now I missed my opportunity. I had some blueberries in the refrigerator too, and I thought, oh, what a lovely color combination. When we're done, it's gonna be red, white, and blue. Should have done it for the 4th of July. It would have been great. All right, I'll remember for next year. So I just topped my melon here with my blueberries, and I'm going to add in my mint leaves. So I'm gonna use about 2 stalks of my mint leaves here. You can tear them, you can chop them. The way I like to remove leaves from a stem is I usually grab the top of the stem and then just pull back. Of course, this one's not being cooperative. Pull back on the stem. No, it's not being cooperative. Really wants to hold on to its leaves. Oh well. Here we go, let's try that one. Nope, all right. I guess I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way and just pull them off. And when I have a nice group of my leaves here, I'm just going to give it a coarse chop. It doesn't have to be finely chopped. Just using the knife that I used for the watermelon. I find I love to use my chef's knife all the time. It has a nice rounded blade at the top so I can rock back and forth when I'm chopping things. All right, there we go. And let's bring our bowl back. I'm just going to sprinkle my melon with that. I would say that was maybe not even quite 2 tablespoons of chopped mint. Okay, and then since I already have my cheese crumbled, I'm going to add in, let's see, probably about, that's about 2 tablespoons of my cheese. Let me just set that aside so I don't knock it over. That would just be like me. And then, just to bring out some of those flavors, I'm going to add in the juice of a half of lime. Now, I've had this lime sitting out of the refrigerator. That helps it liberate the juices a little bit better. You've probably seen me rolling it to release, to break up some of those juice cells. And I'm going to just cut it in half now. It's a nice, juicy looking lime. And let me just grab a fork. All right. And I like to break open the cells, the juice cells. And I'm just going to sprinkle that over my salad. All right, how pretty is that? Here we go. So, very simply. Now, the goat cheese that I added doesn't have as much salt to it. So I'm going to give this a little bit of a toss and see if maybe I want to add a little bit of saltiness to it. I don't know, the goat cheese is fairly salty in and of itself. But you know what? I'm going to let that meld while we work on our other salad. All right, so here is what we have. I'm just going to make this look a little prettier when I show it to you. There. Okay, one salad down. Let's try the other. All right, now with this one, with this salad, we're going to be adding the onion. Now, you can add a sweet onion. Again, I did not have a sweet onion. So what I did was I soaked the onion in the vinegar that I'm going to be adding to make the dressing. Vinegar soaking it like that helps to sweeten and to mellow out some of that onion flavor. I cut the onion into rings. Let me show you. All right, probably about 1/4 inch thick. I can tell it's been absorbing the vinegar because it's turning a pink color of the red wine vinegar that I'm using. Now, I'm thinking these rings are awfully big. So I'm going to cut them down. I'm going to cut them into quarters. I just don't happen to like it. Now, if you had a smaller onion, it probably would be really a nice feature of this. I soaked 1/2 of a large onion. I'm going to use about 1/4 of the onion total, because I just don't want that strong vinegary flavor. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the vinegar, which was 1/4 cup of vinegar, to make my dressing. So I just poured it into a little jar here. I love to make a vinaigrette using a jar, because then I don't have to whisk it. I just shake it up. So I have now my 1/4 cup of vinegar. I'm going to add in some of my mint. Again, I'm going to take 2 of those sprigs. And we know, let's see if this one wants to, this one's not going to pull off very easily either. Who knew? It just wants to hold on to that. Let's try this one. Nope. At some point I should just give up. Learn my lesson. All right. All right. And I might give this a little bit finer of a chop because, as you can see, I'm kind of rolling those leaves together to make a little roll. It makes it more compact so that when I am chopping it, it stays together. All right. That mint is such a wonderful smell. So I'm going to add, again, this is about 2 tablespoons. It was about 2 sprigs of my mint. I'm going to add that in. And then I added in 1/4 cup of my vinegar. I'm going to add in twice as much of my olive oil, which is going to be 1/2 cup of olive oil. As I said, now normally if you were whisking this together, you would add this in slowly and using a whisk, stir it in, but I'm just going to shake it up. All right, put on my lid and give it a good shake. All right. And there we have our vinaigrette. Meantime, let us add in our cheese. All right, I added in about 2 tablespoons. If you like your feta, add a little bit more, of course. Now, real feta cheese from a Greek feta is made from sheep milk. If you get an American feta, it's made from cow's milk. All right, and I'm just going to now pour over, probably using about 1/2 of this vinaigrette. I don't need it all. Remember, I did use 1/2 of the melon. And I'm just going to give it a little toss here. Okay, so let's just take a look at how these look and compare them. And then, unfortunately, I guess I'm going to have to be the judge of the flavor. I wish you could be joining me with it. But here, so that we can see better, I'm going to transfer my salad over into a serving bowl. My onions. And you can see, well, once I'm done with this, that it has a very different look, very different appearance, each one. I'm going to put this to the side, bring back our other bowl. All right. Oops, maybe I need my serving utensils. All right. All right, so here we have our 2 finished salads. The first one we did with our blueberries, very red, white, and blue, very good for the holidays, right? And here's the other with our onion and our vinaigrette. This one was made with lime juice. That was our acid in it. This one is made with our red wine vinegar. I just have a house brand here that I use. So, big question, how do they taste? Let's take a look. All right. Serve them up. So, here's our first. And what's nice about this, you know, to plate it as an individual serving, you could take a couple of sprigs of your mint to add a little color. Maybe not, I didn't pick maybe the best color plate here for it, but all right. We'll plate up our second salad. Okay. Let's get some more of that melon. Take some sprigs and put that in there as well. All right, so here's our second salad. All right, side by side again. All right, now comes the real test. All right, so I'm gonna taste the first one with the blueberries. Oh, that's great. The lime is a real fun, surprising, refreshing flavor. And the blueberries are kind of fun too, different texture. Very nice. Mint, very subtle. I might even add a little bit more mint to this, just to get more of that mint. The other thing too is as it sits, that mint flavor will come out more. All right, now let's try the second. Now, I would expect this one to have more of a savory flavor. Really interesting. That onion is really a surprising fun flavor in it. Whereas this one has more of a dessert-like flavor. This one would pair better with the meal, I think, because of the onion in it. But isn't that nice? 2 different dishes, same watermelon, same cheese. I hope you get a chance to try that. If you try both of them, let me know what you think. Which one do you prefer? I actually put out a little question through Facebook. Let me know, with onions or without onions. All right, so I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. While I was here, the sun came out outside. I'm so glad to see. So I hope you're enjoying this wonderful weather, eating healthy. Hopefully, pretty soon we'll be getting together with friends. In the meantime, I will be seeing you on Tuesdays, migrating over to a new platform very soon. For a while, I will still be here free on my homepage, but I will be sending out information so that hopefully you can migrate over with me and join me for a community of like-minded individuals who want to age healthy, want to age better, want to age backwards. And we'll do that by cooking healthy. I will have cooking programs. I do 4 years seasonally. I will be doing these cooking shows weekly as usual, but I will also be including blog information, current information, cutting health information, and things that would appeal to the individual, the group, about staying young, feeling young, staying young from the inside. Hope you can join me. I will get more information out to you soon enough, but in the meantime, enjoy yourself, and I'll see you next week right here in the kitchen. Take care now. Bye-bye.